Yeah, and I'll kick things off by just saying what the call is about. So yeah, this is the first Conversations with Creators call that I am hosting with Tanya, and the idea of this is, well, there's networking calls on Monday, and there's posts, and there's conversations, and chats going on in comments and in one-to-one DM conversations on school, but what about just having a live conversation with other creators, with other members of the community? On an actual live call where we all share the space and we're all sharing our insights. And I like to choose a topic that is important and relevant to business growth for creators. And one thing that is essential for creators and entrepreneurs and coaches and guides to have is a clear offer. Um, and as clear as your offer is, I believe it can always be more clear. Um, and I'll introduce you to Tanya, and I'll say why she is the co-host for this session. So I have an affinity for marketing. I don't know what it is. I understand the strategic fundamentals of marketing, but even aside from that, I just think it's fun to just play in the sandbox of how do you attract people to your brand, to your business, to your offer. But that said, if people don't have a solid offer, then I can't really help them. And if you don't have a solid offer, even without my help, then can you really help yourself? So what Tanya does is she really loves helping people with their offers. So that's the sandbox that she likes to play in. And one thing I think is beneficial or even fun to identify is like, what is the sandbox you like to play in? Because that sandbox may be related to your offer as well. Um, so that said, like Tanya has a lot of insight into um, helping people like craft and shape their offers. And I think she says her genius is to help you package your genius into an offer that you and your people love. So that said, we'll start talking. Tanya and I will start the conversation. And whenever you feel you want to share something, whenever you feel you want to speak, you can raise your hand, either your digital hand, your physical hand, and then we'll just go around the room and we'll have a conversation. All right. So Tanya,
Hi,
hello.
you guys. If you have been in a networking call with me, you know that this is not my favorite thing to introduce myself and stuff. I am very reluctant to do so, so I'm really glad to see a lot of familiar faces here, so I don't have to reintroduce myself. Um, so one of the things that I notice about many entrepreneurs is that they have a desire. They have this thing that they want to do, this way that they want to serve, but they're not sure about how to get it out there, how to tell people it exists, how to make it stand out from other things that are out there, how to make the vision an actual tangible thing that you can say, here, this is what I love to do, and this is what I would love to do for you. And so what a lot of people will do is they will take something that they see someplace else and go, well, that's working. So it must work for me as well. I mean, why else would this person be making millions of dollars if it didn't work? And what normally happens is that we've actually lost track of the fact that they are on their third or fourth novel and we're on page three. And so we have to then take what they've said with a grain of salt and bring it back and go, okay, but where were they when they were beginning? Where were they when they were in their second or third iteration of this idea? Where were they when they got their first rejection, right? And what does it look like when I have to pivot? And so what I do is I help people build that entire ecosystem of here's what I do, here's why I do it, here's why it's different, here's what will happen if I have to pivot, et cetera. So I've noticed also that there are a couple of people in this community who do MLMs, and that also means that you have to stand out from other people. One of my favorite people in the world is a Tupperware salesperson, and he does sales in drag. And his offer is that he will actually prepare you something to eat in the Tupperware so that you keep the Tupperware. And I think that's brilliant. That is a fantastic offer. I will cook for you. You will buy the Tupperware. That is a fantastic offer. It's so much better than I will give you this stuff that you can put your leftovers in. I will make you those leftovers. Fantastic. I love it. So there are also a lot of people who are, how do we say, heart-centered entrepreneurs. I am selling you something because I genuinely want to make a difference in your life. I genuinely want to give you something that is going to change things for you. And we get really, really attached to the outcomes. We really know that we can make these changes, but we don't know what it is that they need to hear, what it is that they need to receive in order for us to give them this outcome. And that's where your offer comes in. How do I create such a thing that you want to receive so that I get to do what it is that I love to do and you get to receive something that is so incredibly useful to you that it shifts something for you? It shifts your life. It shifts your stuckness. It shifts your health. It shifts your relationships. So I'm wondering if there's anybody here who is currently stuck with what it is that they're offering and doesn't know how to make the vision match the delivery. Does that ring true to anybody here? I've got a vision, but the delivery is a little bit wonky for me.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'll speak a bit and then, open forum. If you want to chime in, if you want to express what you're working on, you're more than welcome to. Um, I have a lot of conversations with entrepreneurs, and I've even had a lot of conversations, a lot of you. I'm not going to say any names specifically. Um, some of you are still figuring it out, right? Which is why I wanted to have this call as a topic. And also, if you want to have something called Conversations with Creators, ask the community what they want to talk about. And the poll had 30 people. 15 out of the 30 said that this is the topic that they wanted to talk about compared to the other two topics. Um, that said, I compare what a lot of other so-called business coaches and strategists do to help people. So you're trying to figure out your offer. You're trying to figure out what you're good at. Here's this AI prompt. Here's this AI prompt to figure out your genius and what you're good at, what you can offer. I mean, I saw Tanya's face. It's ridiculous, right? You're using AI to help you figure out what your genius is that you want to offer. And also, I know a lot of individuals who I want people to make money. I want people, good people, to make good money. To do that, you need an offer. So there's a dynamic, and I don't know if it's any of you, and if you do this, I hope I don't offend you, but there's a lot of individuals who say, I'm going to go to the market to find out what the market needs. I'm going to have conversations and find out what they need, and I'm going to offer that. How is that offering your genius? How does that offering your passion? How's that offering what you know with a doubt, like what you're meant to share with people? You're thinking about your offer depending on the market. And what I say is like, figure out what you're passionate about, figure out your abilities, your gifts, figure out how you would love to help people, and start making offers and see if they want it. Don't ask the market what they want. Choose what you want to offer the market. And if they say yes, there's a market fit. Um, so that said, I'll take a pause here if anyone wants to speak around like, offers or anything that comes to mind.
Just to add on to what you just said, Justin,
Yeah.
one of the things that they say is that the market doesn't know what it wants. If you ask the market, what kind of phone do you want? The market's going to say, I want one that dials. I want one that I can call people with. I want one I can play games on, blah, blah, blah. Right.
Mm.
So you make that. And then the market goes, yeah, but I also want, okay. Or worse, they go, that's not what I wanted. I didn't want it to dial like that. I didn't want it to blah, blah, blah. So you go to them and you go, here is a phone that dials like this. You can play these games on it and you can, I don't know, make it make you dinner. I don't know why. I think I'm hungry. These are my analogies for today.
Yeah.
But so you tell them what it is, and then they will say to you, I would love it if it also had. And then your next
Mm.
offer has that thing. I would love it if it also did. Oh, that's such a great idea. That's how you ask the market. I already have a thing. How does it serve you? And let them tell you, this is how it serves. This is how I would like it. But most people will not give you that feedback, honest feedback, until they've experienced what it is that you're doing. They will do it based on what they've already seen out there. And what you're doing is not what they've already seen. They're just thinking that what you're doing is what they've already seen. So it's really important that you get out there and that you talk to people and you say to them, here's what I've got. It's going to cost you, even if this is the first time you've ever offered it, it's going to cost you $400. It's going to cost you $1,000. Whatever the value is, that's a whole other story. But let them buy it. And then when you're done with it, you say, how did that serve you? How did you like that? How could I have made that different for you? Ask them after they've tasted it. It's almost like putting salt on your food before you've tasted it, right? You don't know if that thing needs salt, but you will know once you've tasted it. I think Stephen unmuted at the same time as I did. So, Stephen, did you want to say something?
Stephanie, I'll do. Stephanie has her hand raised. So Stephanie, then Jarn.
Hey guys, thank you so much for this topic. And I'm so excited because, gosh, this is really aligned with what I'm going through right now when it comes to business. Is it appropriate to be business specific right now? Is that okay?
Yeah,
Can I speak upon what I'm doing?
yeah,
Okay, awesome. So I technically work for quote unquote an MLM. I work with Juice Plus, which is a global company. We are fruits and vegetables in a capsule, and it's bridging the gap between what people get nutritionally and what they don't get. I'm trying to curate my offer in a way that's specific to the market. I have this little 1 month old baby here. She comes to all my meetings. Um, but I don't have postpartum depression. I don't have anything. We have a super biome pre and probiotic that unlocks the second brain and the second mind, and it frees you all of that stuff. So I'm wondering now that you were talking, Tanya, I'm like, oh my goodness, I could be doing this for postpartum women, but I could also tie this into my forensic psychology master's degree because I have that. And I'm like, oh my goodness, why don't I, if they get on the product, offer them free sessions? Sign up for the product and then get on, yeah, and just do the probiotic pre and pro to be able to unlock your mind and unlock your gut because that's your second brain and it really needs to be cleansed. So I don't know. That's sort of where I'm at right now. Thank you for letting me be so specific, but I really feel like this is a passion of mine. So any feedback is awesome.
yeah. Cool. Tanya, you gonna speak? Yes, no?
I was wondering if we were going to let Yarna go or if I was supposed to respond directly to Stephanie first.
You can respond to Stephanie first.
It's freaking brilliant. It's freaking brilliant. Because if you're talking to people who already think that they're lost, who already think that they don't even think that they know that they're scared. They know that they have to get their body back. They know that their body has gotten wonky from sharing it with somebody else, right? How do you get all of that stuff back? How do you get your mind back? How do you get your body back? How do you own yourself again?
Yeah.
Well, you take care of your body physically, and then you take care of your person. And I can do both of those things with you.
Yes.
It's fantastic. That is a great offer. That is a
Thank you.
great offer. And I think that there's a way for you to do that in a way that isn't so hyper specific.
Yeah.
Yes, postpartum is a great space, but you've got women in general who go through this every month, who go through this when they hit their 40s and 50s. So it's when you're lost, I help you find yourself again, right?
Awesome.
That's good, yeah.
Ah, yes.
That's good,
Thank you.
yeah.
That just, it just
Yay.
all clicked. I was like, wait, what? Thank you. So thank you for sharing. Your voice was able to completely make that all click for me. So thank you.
Awesome. All right, Jarna.
Großstück.
Yeah, Jan Großstück, that's right. Yeah, thanks for creating that space. For me, I'm coming from a spiritual perspective and looking to put it into words that humans understand. Um, so usually what we're going through is like this rapid change and transformation of humanity, like technology. Spiritually, we're just becoming more and more aware of what's important for us, mentally, emotionally, physically. And like for me to use less words, to use those words that are actually, you know, understandable for the people, I try to let go of concepts and names and titles as all those things feel limiting to me. So what can you like give me as an advice to learn to structure that? I'm very breath-based in my approach. I do lots of mirror work so I can really feel the shadow aspect and even mirror the shadow aspect back to people in a very interesting way. So what's your experience? What can you tell me or give as an advice?
Tell me what I get to feel with you.
Calm.
Where am I before I speak with you?
Sorry.
Where am I before I speak with you?
Emotionally unstable, potentially mentally not clear, having too many thoughts scattering around. And with me, the thoughts become more clear, more crisp. We can hold our focus better. Yeah.
Who do you normally work with?
Those who really want to change but don't know how. And the
Are they
how is
already
never
aware?
ideal. Sorry?
No, no, no. You go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hmm. No, no, I'm out. You first, and then we continue. Lost the stream of thought.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Um, are they already aware of how they feel?
It's a very interesting question, because they think they're aware, but there's still some left over. They started their awakening, they realized, okay, oh, there's something I need to look at, but there's still like a gap to, okay, oh, I stay there. It's not this in and out. It's that, okay, yo, here it is. I am it. What can I do with it? How can I serve? How can I be of benefit to the people that I love?
Storytelling is going to be one of the easiest ways for you to offer clarity on what it is that you offer. So getting really, really good at saying, this is how you feel. This is how
Hmm.
you want to feel. Your offer is always going to be the desired state of that person, right?
Hmm.
It's always going to be you feel clarity, you feel calm, you feel blah, 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 because most people already know that they're in some kind of pain. Whether they can put their finger on exactly what it's called or not is another story, but they already know that they're in pain. So you don't have to tell them you're stuck, you're depressed, you're this. They know. What they
Yeah.
do is to know how to get out of it. And so your job is to create something that says, here is what the opposite of what you're feeling like is. So if the opposite of what I'm feeling like right now is calm, then that's what you're selling. You're selling calm. And you're putting together something that says, this is how I get you there. I get you there through X, Y, and Z, because that's your product. Your product is how you're getting a person to the state that they want to be in. Person doesn't have a car, you're selling a car. That's how they get to the state that they want to be in. They're now mobile. So for you, the global consciousness, the methods by which you get them there are not as important as the fact that you get them there. And so be really, really conscious of, I get you to calm. I get
Mm,
you to wholeness. I get you to a place where your brain doesn't feel like it's racing all the time. That is the value that you're offering. How do you do that? Comes second.
hmm.
But can you give me 3 words that describe the end state of your people?
Feeling vital, lighter, and more compassionate.
Do I want to feel more compassionate?
Maybe not when I really think of it. Maybe people don't know like how beautiful it is to feel compassion, so it can be different to say because compassion is like a bigger state. Okay, you're feeling more vital. What was the second one that I just named? I just forgot.
It's okay.
Feeling
You can
more
come up with three
vital.
more.
Yeah. So feeling
It
more
was lighter.
vital, being lighter, feeling lighter and going through life with more ease.
Fantastic. How do you
Yeah.
get me there?
Through mirror work or through breath work, like some simple techniques that you can integrate into your daily life. It's not even like a breath meditation that you need to do to sit down for 5, 10, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, but it's really some techniques that you can utilize even at work whilst you're sitting on the computer or whilst walking through the grocery stores or walking through the grocery store. So they're very simple techniques that you can utilize in order for you to achieve that state of calm in an instant.
Do you hear what you just said? You just put me in 2 incredibly stressful situations, work and public. That is fantastic. That is what it is. I get you. I can help you find calm, lightness, and a state of more whole being, regardless of where you are. In your
Hmm.
most stressful situations, I can make sure that you feel peaceful.
Amazing. Thank you.
That's exactly what you just told me.
Yeah,
That is
it's that mirror.
fantastic.
Yeah, grateful. Thank
But
you.
that's what you sell. You sell a way for me
Hmm.
to take my most stressful situations and find peace in them. That is a wonderful thing that you're offering.
You know, once you have the space and someone that helps you to get there, such as in this call, like I mean, you helped me in your own way to get, to get me where you're at with that clarity. And it's just fascinating to see how with what I said, I got you where I am, it's a beautiful space. Hmm.
Yeah, it was a lovely way to get there too. Thank you for brainstorming with me.
Thank you too.
Yeah, it's a fun sandbox to play in, isn't it? Um, yeah, as you were talking, I wrote down some things because you know, as a marketer or someone who helps business owners or just purposeful entrepreneurs, like what's the pain? Like what's the pain? What are people experiencing when they need to reach out to Jarna? So some things I wrote down is like anxiety, social anxiety, and some of those, like you mentioned, are related to work or being in public, because when you're in public and you're overwhelmed by being in public, you feel social anxiety. Like people have social anxiety, like they know they have it, they want a solution. They probably tried a lot of things. They probably tried a medication, probably tried therapy, counseling, um, overwhelm, frantic emotions, overwhelmed emotions. Um, those are some things that come to mind if people have these things, and also the environment that you brainstorm with Tanya. um Again, like overwhelmed emotions at work, social anxiety in public. Hey, you should talk to Jarna, who's going to help you feel peaceful regardless of whatever stressful situation you might find yourself in. Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. Take a pause here if anyone else wants to speak or contribute or even share what they're working on, what they're trying to figure out. Don't be shy, or else Tanya and I will just talk.
Yeah, once the introduction is over, I'm a nonstop talker. So
Yeah.
Stephen
Okay.
Cruz. Here we go.
Hello. This is it Tanya or Tanya?
Tanya.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wanting to. So I made a whole compendium in the back of the book that I wrote, where it's all proprietary terms. So like PMEPL is phenomenology, metaphysics, epistemology, logic, and or pragmatism and logic, and then that is the operating system that we use for every decision that we make. Yeah, I just wanted to say like those are like the terms uh that I'm talking about in there. Like there's a whole bunch of different wabi sabi anchor is like the axiom you make with each decision. Yeah.
Be mindful of not being too clever
Yeah,
because
it's actually
people,
intentional.
right, but you say LDS, somebody
Hmm.
thinks Latter-day Saints.
I've never even heard of. I don't even I've heard it, but I don't know what that is.
It's a
But yeah,
it's a
I get what you're saying.
they can't identify what LDS means until they're already working with you.
That's the accountability and intention and intentionality that I'm putting out there that they need to come in. That's why I made it so confusing. So you really have to put your mind into it and you have to absorb everything that I say because we all have the same operating system. We all have the same exact one. I just name them so you can understand them on a fundamental level. This way it makes your subconscious and your conscious mind work together. So a decision that would take you 5 minutes to decide because you got emotional hangups on certain words or certain experiences. After you go through the PMEPL cycle and you go into yourself and figure out exactly what it is you need to refine before you make the decision, the more you prepare, the better the outcome. And that's what that's what my system is naming. Because most people go from phenomenology, their own experience, to emotional reaction. And there's three large steps in between there that you don't understand that you're making at certain times.
Why do I come to you?
Emotional regulation, clarity, any kind of result that you want. So the way I say it is I think I talked with Justin about this. This is your starting point, this is your end point. And then imagine a lightning fractal going all the way out there. So A to Z. And then each step you take, you go on a different path, no matter how slight the path is. And then you just want that Z there as a guideline. And on your way to that Z, you'll figure out where exactly it is because you might not end up at Z, but you'll end up where you're supposed to end up. So you could end up at Z3, Z12. Like it just depends on what step you take where and the sacrifice you're willing to make at each step.
So where am I when I come to you?
You
You're wanting that
mean you
or
mean what where the problem is, where the pain is, Tanya?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So I'll say it.
oh okay. Oh,
What
I'm
is the
sorry.
pain? What is the problem? I get it. That's why I like, Tanya and I hang out a lot. So sometimes I read her mind. She
Yeah,
wants
I'm
to know
starting
what are people experiencing like that
to.
painful problem when they know I need to find Steven. What are you experiencing when they seek you out? How do they know that I need Steven the expert?
One time, Justin told me that he understands me energetically,
Oh
even if he
yeah.
doesn't understand what I'm actually saying.
Yeah, sometimes Tanya's like blah 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 blah. That make any sense? I say, logically it didn't make much sense, but energetically, Tanya, completely understand you. Yeah, go ahead, Stephen.
So what is my pain point, Stephen? Where am I? Why am I
Either hi
coming to you?
either highly emotional or too little of emotions. 'Cause I'm highly stoic, and everything that I came up with came from meditation. So I'm teaching a system that will enhance your system. I can give you version 2 or version 3 of you. And what is that? Like, yeah, so the highly emotional people or the ones that are too little, I teach you how to use your emotional knob, so to speak, to figure out what you should like how I'm sorry, it's kind of going there. I teach you how to figure out your emotional knob for each choice, for each decision.
That is what you have to sell me. You can take me there however you want to take me there, but you have got to let me know that this is what's going to happen to you when you work with me. I'm going to help you regulate. I'm going to help you calibrate your emotional knob. That didn't sound as good as it did in my head first, but I'm going to help you calibrate. I'm going to help you move from where you are right now to where you want to be, right? And maybe along the way, you're going to find some places that you didn't even know that you wanted to be, but they're really, really great for you to be in right now, right?
Mhm.
You're not gonna sell me HVA.
Yeah.
You're gonna make me, once I'm inside, you're gonna make me understand it, but that's not what you're gonna sell me. It's really, really important that you're not too clever for your people, that they don't understand what it is that you do for them, right? You're a very, very smart and learned man.
No, agree,
Okay, you're a
disagree.
half smart and half learned man. Do you feel
Yeah.
better now?
Okay, yeah, that's a little more accurate.
Okay. I'm still saying in my head what I said the first time. So I said what I said. You're a smart and learned man, and you have something to share with us. And we need to understand what that is in order for you to share it with us. So try to think of other ways. Am I the only? No, Krista, I still haven't gotten over it yet.
I'm sorry I dragged the quality of the conversation down.
You're all
No.
good. You're all good. You know, no matter how
But
old we get, sometimes we always have that juvenile sense of humor.
but make sure that as you're starting out from a place that says, here's where you are, here's where you want to be. And then once you have the conversation, here's how I get you there. Does that make sense? Energetically?
100% made sense. That's the
Energetically
part I'm really
and
working on
logically.
right now.
Yeah. I'll just say a bit and then, we'll call on Tori. Thanks for joining us, Tori. Thanks for joining us, Chrissy, as well. So I agree with what Tanya is saying. And, Stephen, I've had a few conversations with you as well because, you're all members of the Aligned Entrepreneur Network. And one thing I want everyone to have is just like as much clarity as possible with their offer and their marketing message so you can go out there and attract and enroll clients, right? And what comes up for me, Stephen, and I say this to a lot of individuals as well, so it's not just to you, but I think it is congruent with what Tanya is expressing, is like as experts, it's really easy for us to get lost in the methodology of what we do. But to get lost in that methodology of what we do is often inaccessible to the people who need the simple language to know that we can help them. And one word that also comes to mind is jargon. We don't want to get lost in the jargon. The jargon is for our colleagues, is for our fellow experts who are proficient with the same terminologies and words. And sure, once you attract and enroll the clients, you can use all the jargon you want. You can use all the fancy acronyms you want. But wait until you attract and enroll the client and then you just let all the tools out of the toolbox. You can go as deep as you want to because they trust you and they know that what you're sharing with them is part of the result. Um, yeah, so just sharing that. Like, not that you don't have to share all of that, because I know it's fun and it's playful, but wait till you get the paying client. And then you can teach them the complexity, the nuances, the layers, the methodology. You can bring them to your level because they've invested in you. Cool. All right. Tori.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, so yeah, I'm open to playing with Tanya for a few minutes here and seeing if she can help to open up some awesome stuff in ways that she has with other speakers. So yeah, that would be cool.
Tell me what you do.
So I have a group for women. It's called the Money Safety Method, and my focus is to help her to actually execute. When she seeks me out, she is feeling scattered. The weeks have flipped by into another month that has gone. At the end of February, she's going to be like, two down, 10 more to go, and they go too fast. And she can't quite connect with what she's even done or achieved in the month that just flew before her. So I offer a calm, structured place where she can come in and she can get help to focus on one thing to do, to achieve, to actually finish. I want to help her to stop being the woman with all the ideas and to actually be the woman that finishes and gets that pride back in herself and feels confident that she is moving forward because she wants to make an impact and she's scared of time passing. And yeah, so I hold that kind of structured space where we do a reset every month. There's also weekly check-ins to stop blowing off course, to identify what blows her off course, to have a strong stop doing list that's as important as her to-do list. Those kinds of frameworks and lots of practical tips to really kind of manage her work, manage herself, keep her goal front of mind, and get shit done.
Why do you think you don't know what you're selling? Why do you think you don't have an offer there?
Well, I think perhaps I do, but it's quite fresh. I've recently shifted focus and I just came on this call and I've been bumbling around and just listening to you and I just thought, yeah, let's bounce that off Tanya and see if you do think, see what you do think to my offer.
What does getting shit done and money have in common?
It means that she can build money safety. So I'm very passionate about financial independence for women specifically, whatever that means for her, but financial safety. And one of those is obviously she's decided that she wants to create an income from this income stream that she's decided to work on. And she wants to be successful financially, but she also wants to fulfill her purpose. It means a lot to her. She wants to be proud of the woman in the mirror. She wants to
Hmm.
know that she's done it. Um, so that's the link.
Are you selling her financial stability? Are you selling her self-recognition? Are you selling her being productive?
I'm selling her the tools and techniques to make her productive enough to make the money and to actually know where she's going every month and actually finish things and get her offer out there, instead of having loads of half finished or unfinished or unmarketed things in her Google
Hmm.
Drive. She's actually finishing things and getting them out there.
Are you a business coach?
Well, I'm a coach, and obviously as a coach, you can put whatever word you want in front of the word coach, can't you?
No, this is not,
Whether it's
I'm not picking it apart. I'm
Yeah, yeah. No, no, that's right. And I wouldn't necessarily label myself as a business coach or a money coach, but I think I can kind of straddle the two.
I think you can as well. I think you are.
Mm.
Naming something the money safety map, but telling me that you want me to get things done makes me
Yeah.
think that these two things are linked, which is great because you want them to be linked, but you're not telling me where I am when I start. You're not
Mm.
telling me what the ultimate
Mm.
goal is. You're giving me one mechanism, I'm just as I'm hearing it, you're giving me
Yeah.
one mechanism by which you get me to my ultimate goal, which is to be a successful and self-reliant woman, right? But the money
Yeah.
safety map is just one way of getting me there.
Yes. Yes.
The other
And
ways
this,
are
yeah.
through productivity, um, through self beating self-doubt, etc. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes, and you can imagine that this is the shift that I've recently started because when I opened the school, it was going to be more personal finance focused. So the money
Mhm.
safety map was made up of a few things around budgeting, investing and building an additional income stream. But the shift is that I'm focusing on helping her to build that additional income stream. So the name relates more to the original focus. So I have been thinking, do I change the name? So,
So you're the
but I
healthy, wealthy,
can.
and wise person.
Pardon?
You're the healthy, wealthy, and wise person.
I don't know about the healthy, but
Well, a healthy relationship with themselves, a healthy relationship with money, a
sure.
healthy relationship with their business. Wealth doesn't necessarily mean money. It also means being in a good place personally, being in a good place financially, obviously,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
So you're more of a holistic solution than you're allowing yourself to be.
I hear that. And then I think I go down that route of like, oh, but you need to be clear and you need to have a niche and you need to have a very clear, you know, she's here, she wants to be here, and my offer is the bridge.
Mhm.
A wise man once called it that. I think it was Justin. So I've been very mindful of like trying to keep it simple because sometimes my problem is I don't. So I'm trying to keep it simple, um, rather than too broad.
Mhm. But you do have a niche. Your niche is women who want financial independence through a business that they've created for themselves.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you do have a
Yeah.
niche.
Yes. Yeah.
The way that
Okay.
the way that niching was taught is sometimes backwards.
Mm,
Sometimes it's the individual that you're serving, and sometimes it's the method that you're serving with.
yeah.
You happen to have a very clear niche in the person that you're serving, which a lot of people struggle to find. You're
Mm,
way ahead of a lot of people. This is really, really amazing. And you have several ways by which you get them here. So I would not worry so much about whether or not it's clear who you're serving, but I would build that bridge. I
mm.
think you can do it yourself. I think that if you did, do you know what a customer journey map is?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I need to, yeah, do
If
that.
you do that as a story arc, she
Okay.
starts here. When she enters my space, she gets this. When she is in her second week, second month, whatever, second tier,
Yeah.
she gets this. And show the story of how she moves through your ecosystem.
Yeah.
You're going to discover exactly how you serve your people.
Yeah. No, that's helpful. Yeah, to walk that journey as
And
her.
she's
Yeah.
going to understand it better as well. And the value is going to be so much clearer because you're saying, I get you from here to here,
Mm,
and it's visual,
yeah.
but
Yeah. Cool.
you don't need an offer. You need clarity about how you offer what you offer.
Mm, yeah. Sure.
But
Okay.
you're have more faith in what you have right now because it really, really is solid.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's
You're welcome.
great. That's great to know. Good. Thank you,
Yeah,
Tanya.
my pleasure. You guys, this is so much fun. This is super fun. Can I, Emma,
Yes.
I often wonder, truly, why you don't consider yourself an entrepreneur,
Hmm.
even though you're studying. What would you do if you didn't get just a regular job after your studies?
Sorry, I'm laughing at Chris's comment. I love that. Thanks.
Totally.
I actually have no clue. That's the thing. I always just imagined myself at a regular desk 9 to 5 job in an office. And I just thought, yeah, I kind of belong there because I never really thought about business or like having a business mind or anything. My partner is the complete opposite. He's all about business and he's like, you should make business. And I'm like, I don't know how to, and I don't know even what I would do. My dream, if I had enough money that I could kind of invest into something, is opening my own 24/7 cafe because I love coffee and I would just do that. And I'd be like, yes, people need coffee 24/7. Let's open that stuff up in some busy suburbs where people actually move around all the time because I think that could actually help people and also make money, which is great. Otherwise, I have no idea. Maybe invest in some properties, but again, you still need starting capital for that, and I don't have that. So I don't know.
I've always wanted to ask you that question, that literally I don't have an answer for you. I just really have
Yeah.
always wanted to ask you that question. And this is an
Yeah, no worries.
opportunity for me to do that.
Yeah.
So thank you.
I've had a few conversations with Emma in some breakout rooms and a little bit in the comments, and you do strike me as a multi-passionate and a multi-potentialite, which can lend itself to, well, crafting a unique offer that only you can because there's so much you're interested in that you want to share with others. So yeah.
Yeah, that checks out a lot because apart from what I'm studying, I'm also currently trying to be on the spiritual journey of mine before that. And also still I used to be into music. I used to play guitar and sing, so I could technically do that, but it's not like I would want to do it full time. I would want to do it maybe as a side gig, but definitely not full time. I cannot imagine myself as a full-time musician touring the world. It's just too much stress for me and too much insecurity, and I don't like insecurity. And recently I started liking also just annoying people with my opinions and with my vlogs that I record in the Ben's community. So Steven mentioned that I could do YouTube, but I don't think so.
Where are your videos?
Where am I? I am currently in Germany, in
No, where are
Konstanz.
your videos? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, in Ben's community called RSC Club. They're just
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
I post weekly, something like a weekly checkup, and I thought it would kind of transform itself into actual checkups that people would post videos or recordings of their voice in the comments. But so far, I think Ben has done like two, then someone else has done a few. But I think maybe people forgot about it, that that was the purpose. So I think I might actually have to remind them about that. But it's usually just me podcasting while walking from work for 8 to 12 minutes and just doing random stuff.
You're fascinating. Emma, you're amazing.
Thank you.
Kara Euler, can I call on you?
Yes, go ahead.
Kara Euler, I've called on you.
Yes.
What do you do, Kara? Because I see you around a lot.
Yeah. Um, So, I mean, I have, like, I feel like an answer, but at the same time, sorry, I happen to be sucking on something. It's kind of bothering my mouth as I'm talking. Um, as you're going through the questions, I feel like taking a step back and really going, what do I do? 'Cause this has been kind of going through my mind a lot in the last, I don't know, few weeks, that I've been all of a sudden going, what the heck do I do? I know what it is that I say that I do. I help women um, through soul transformation connect with their higher self, their soul, get into the calmness, the groundness. And I tap into things that are physically manifesting in the body and able to be able to heal that in the same as you're in alignment moving forward in a journey that you didn't even know that was related. Putting that into offers, making that make sense, it's been, yeah, it's been the struggle.
Do you want me to ask you some questions?
Go for it. Yes, I think I need the brain like jolt.
Okay. So where am I when I come to you?
I feel like it's a good question for Emma. Emma, where were you when you came to me? um, I find that I get women that are kind of all over the map who come. I see a lot of overwhelmed, knowing that there's something else out there. How do I tap more into it? How do I tap more into my intuition?
Happened.
Did we lose Kara? Or is that me?
Oh, okay. She's back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. All of a sudden, I noticed everybody froze, and then, yeah, it was me. I'm so sorry about that. And I don't know
No
where I
worries.
lost you.
At overwhelmed.
Okay, okay, good. So that was kind of towards the end. What was the stream of thought that was happening there? Women are coming in, yes. Overwhelmed. Oh, desiring to tap more into their intuition and being able to understand the inner voice. And I started it off as thinking that it was being able to better seek your have better energetic boundaries, coming in from, say, unhealthy relationships, toxic relationships. I don't know if that's still the current like path or not. From what I'm seeing with women, I do see women that come with like various history paths because it's all about releasing, letting go of old patterns. Because I do a lot of various timeline work and things. So, yeah, where are they at when they're coming with me? Seeing a loop of some kind, but it's the what is the loop? It's not always so consistent. I do struggle with this question.
Except you kind of don't. Because
Okay.
you
I'm
know
glad
what their
you're
symptoms
hearing it
are.
because I'm like, I'm overspinning.
But you know what their symptoms are. So we're sort of in that GP section, right? Where you're not a specialist per se. You're not going directly in and getting that exact thing so much as you are diagnosing the person and then figuring out what specialty they need. And then you're able to serve them that specialty, right? So it's a lot easier for you to say that you are helping people who have lost their sense of self, who have,
Yes. Yes, this is absolutely on point. I used to say this one and I had forgotten it, so thank you for bringing that back.
and so that's huge. And as I was saying to Stephanie earlier, this is something that women in particular go through over and over again in their lifetimes, right? Of that loss of sense of self. And the symptoms of loss of sense of self are things like self-doubt. It could be overeating, overindulging in other things. Their relationships suffer, both romantic relationships and just platonic relationships. Their work suffers. Their relationships at work suffer. So you've got all of these ways that a loss of sense of self manifests themselves. And so if your offer is, I help you find your way back to you, then they can tell you where their loss is. You don't have to diagnose the loss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it'll be a
Yeah,
lot
because that
easier for
certainly
you.
is one of the points that I do work with is finding your own sense of clarity and getting back on what I call your divine path. Because I really like to be able to. One of my favorite things to do is meet with your higher self and listen to what that higher self aversion is telling you your next steps are, your path, where you're supposed to be, all these things. Um, yeah, that's one of the huge favorites. And I think it's so beautiful to be able to step into where is it I'm meant to be, gaining that clarity, gaining that wisdom back that you lost, like you were talking about. You've lost your sense of self and stepping back into that.
So
I
you're
think,
effectively a map maker for us,
mm,
or a
interesting.
Sherpa. You are the person who understands the landscape and you help us get there.
Yeah. Well, I guess like a Sherpa, I help guide because I don't do the work for you.
Hmm.
I
Right.
guess they do some of the work, so maybe not Sherpa, but I guide.
Well, the Sherpa has to do some work as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You can be both.
All right. Well, it's time. It's
It's
time to
time.
transition to the next call. So yeah, I really enjoyed this call with all of you. Thank you so much for joining Conversations with Creators, and thank you for co-hosting with me, Tanya.